What's up, everybody? This is a different style of video. I was on YouTube the other day and I saw the hashtag for Dear Me and looked into it and saw that it was kind of a note to your younger self. Like, what advice would you give your younger self of 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it is? And I thought that would be a really cool thing for Jenny and I to do. It's a way to get to know us a little deeper, and also for us to kind of like relive what we know now versus what we knew back then, or better to say what we didn't know back then. So I'll start it off. What advice would I give my younger self? At this point in my life, how do you tell your younger self that everything you ever imagined, and more so, is going to happen, is going to come to fruition? That is really hard to believe. When you're younger, I think a lot of things develop on like 4 categories. It would be like, your family, your friends, your love life, and your career. And so if all 4 of those things are going great, then you have a great life. So my advice would probably be for the career life. I'll break it down into the four sectors. For career life, don't believe anything anybody tells you. When they come up and say, your band's never going to make it, your music sucks, you're just a copy of Blink-182. I could go through the list of things that people used to tell me. And it was weird. I used to use that as motivation in order to get to the next level and to really like fuel the fire that I already had. So I guess the advice I would give for that would just be continue doing that. It is hurtful, and it does sometimes suck to hear people say negative things about you, but don't let it get you down, and just use it as that motivation, because I can promise you it all works out in the long run. Family. I think the one thing that I would have done differently is spent more time with my family. Now that I travel so much and I live in a completely different state across the nation from my family, I feel like I didn't spend those years when I had all of them together as present as I should have been. And we take like these vacations now, and we go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that feeling of family and just being around everybody is really, really awesome. And I don't know if I felt like it was awesome back then. My mind was probably elsewhere, like just waiting to go out with my friends, or just waiting to go play with the toys that I got for Christmas. Like I would have rather been more present and understood how important family is. So I would tell my younger self that family is unfortunately not always going to be around, and not in the mind and the heart, but more physically, and I wish I could be with my family every single day, but the world doesn't always work like that. So that would be my advice. And even today, I would advise myself, in this present moment, to be with your family as much as you possibly can. Now that we have technology like FaceTime and Skype and things like, I think we try to keep in contact even more so than when I was living at home, which is kind of crazy to think. Friends is something that is really strange. I remember my graduation speech for my high school was saying something like, our friends are different from everybody else. We're going to stay together, and it's going to be happily ever after. And it's really interesting. You go off to college, you go off to work, or med school, or whatever it is that your dream is, and you kind of lose touch with those friends. It didn't take me too long to understand that. You kind of create friends wherever you are, and you let them be a part of your life in a way that your friends, in high school and middle school, elementary school, maybe never were. So I think I would advise myself to try to keep in touch with your friends better. I love my friends that I have now, and I probably wouldn't have had them had I just been so close-minded and not really reached out to, befriend anybody else. So I think friends is a really important part of life. I know it's a really important part of life, and I would just tell my younger self that be open-minded to the friends that you have, and always just be nice to others, and great friends will come your way. I have great friends now, and so I think I did everything in a pretty good manner. Love life. Love life's the hardest one. They tell you not to look for it, and when you don't look for it, that's when you'll find it. But in the back of your head, you're kind of always looking for love and waiting to find that special one. I was in a relationship for 8 years, and so I think if I were to tell myself in that, me being in that relationship, like, hey, it's not going to work out, and you're going to find somebody that is so beautiful you can't even imagine what she would look like, and is so beautiful inside her soul that you won't even be able to imagine that feeling that she gives you. I probably would have said, like, no way, I'm good. I feel like I was settling, and I would tell myself, like, it's really tough, because all the mistakes I made, all the troubles I went through, all the wrongs and rights I did, every little thing that I did led me to this point right here, sitting in this chair talking in this video. So it's hard to advise myself to do anything different. I almost would never want to do anything different, because I feel like it would be a ripple effect, and I wouldn't be right here, and I wouldn't be who I am today. I would be a completely different person. So it's hard to tell my younger self what to do with love, but I guess the advice I would give is love is out there, and you will find it, as I believe everybody will. And when you do, it will hit you like a train, and you will know with a great understanding of what true love is. So I think those are the 4 topics that I would tell my younger self. It's a really cool thing. I feel like I should do this like every 10 years, and because I'll probably be not a different person, but a more grown version of myself, in the sense of my soul and my heart and my mind. I'm very thankful for everything that has happened. I'm very thankful for all the mistakes I made. I'm grateful for them, because it led me to this point right here. And that's hard to say. That's hard to be like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to run into problems. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to follow your heart. That's the best advice you could give, because I think I did all those things, and it led me to the most unimaginable life I could have ever dreamed of. I thought it would be cool to play in a band. I thought it would be cool to, start a family. I thought it would be cool I never thought it would be this good. I never thought that my career would work out tenfold. I never thought my love life would be as strong and as empowering as this. And I never thought my friends and family would be stronger than they ever have been. So it's really, really exciting. It's these type of videos that I think make you realize what you have. So that's the advice I would give. And if you guys take anything from that, I would take that last part. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to love. That's it.
Also, not to take things personally, because I wish I had realized back then that anything anyone said that was hurtful or mean or I took to heart really meant that person was probably having a really bad day and had stuff going on in their life that I didn't know about, but they were taking it out on me. So before, I think I definitely let it get to me, and now I try to realize that person probably just needs a hug.